皆さんおはようございます。こんにちは、こんばんは。Welcome to the Easy Japanese News Article of the Day for July 20th, 2026. 2026年7月20日の今日の記事でございます。For our headline today, we have 7月20日は海の日です。Now, because today is a holiday in Japan, the NHK Easy News does not put out an article. So this is from the Yasashi Asahi News, a very similar service, but the articles are normally a little bit longer, so we have a little bit longer of one today. And here is our vocabulary from the headline. Very nice and easy. We have umi, which is the sea or the ocean, and hi, which is day. So nice and easy. Our headline today is 7月20日. So 7月, this is July, the 7th month. Then 20日, this is an alternate reading of 20日, but when we're talking about the 20th day of the month, we'll normally say 20日 instead of 20日. So 7月20日 would be the 20th of July. What our main topic here? 海の日. So 海 being the sea or ocean, no of 日 being day. 海の日, the day of the ocean, or I believe they call it Marine Day, and des. So we've got our main topic with a wa, followed by another noun, and des, this is this, right? So July 20th is Day of the Sea, or Marine Day. Here's our vocabulary from the article. We have 感謝する, to thank, to be grateful. 大切, important. 囲む, to surround. 発展, development. 願う, to wish or to hope. 祝日, a public holiday. 記念日, anniversary or commemoration day. 無事に, safely. 決まる, to be decided or to be determined. 貝, shellfish. 届ける, to deliver. 運ぶ, to carry or to transport. 役立つ, to be useful or to be helpful. 海水浴, swimming in the ocean. 楽しむ, to enjoy. 与える, to give. 機会, an opportunity or a chance. And 自然, nature. All right, and we also have a grammar point of the day today. This is when we use the verb stem, the stem of a verb, sometimes called the mas stem, like the mas form, but we take out the mas. That's called the verb stem. And then we add nagara. So verb stem nagara. And then we have our verb stem nagara and then something after it. And that means while doing this verb, doing something else at the same time, right? So expressing simultaneous actions while doing this, also doing this. So for example, we have 音楽を聴きながら勉強します. So our verb here is 音楽を聴く, to listen. So while listening to music, I study. Now something that a lot of beginner textbooks do not teach is the main verb. If there is a main verb between the two, it'll normally be the second one. So if you said 音楽を聴きながら勉強します, your main action is studying, and while you're studying, you're listening on the side, right? And then same thing with 海を見ながら一休みしました. So 海を見る would be to look at the ocean. Ocean marked with o, our object particle here, to say that's what we're looking at. So 海を見る being put in the verb stem 見ながら, while looking at the ocean or the sea. 一休み, so a 一休み is like a short rest or a break, literally one break. And する, しました. And this is in the past tense here. する, しました. So while looking at the ocean, I took a break. And finally, 働きながら大学に通っています. So 働く, being put in the must stem or the verb stem would be 働き. Then we add the nagara. While working, 大学 is college. 大学に to college. And then 通う is kind of to commute to, but also just to go to, attend. So this is 大学に通う would be to go to college. Like I am attending college or university. And then we put that in the teiru form since they are currently doing it. And we end off with a mas here. Teiru going to teimasu to say they are currently doing it and adding that formality with the mas.
海の日は毎年7月の第3月曜日です。日本の海に感謝し、海の大切さについて考える日です。日本が海に囲まれた国であることから作られました。海の恵みに感謝し、日本の発展を願う祝日です。海の日は、海の記念日が元になっています。明治天皇が東北に行って、船で横浜港まで無事に帰ってきた日を記念して、7月20日が海の記念日に決まりました。7月に祝日がなかったことも理由だと言います。海は、魚や貝などの食べ物を私たちに届けてくれます。また、船で人や物を運ぶことにも役立っています。夏になると、海水浴やマリンスポーツを楽しむ人もたくさんいます。海は、私たちに楽しい時間も与えてくれます。海の日は、海の大切さや海の恵みに感謝する良い機会です。海を大切にする気持ちを持ちながら、自然について考えてみてください。これは、アルファサード編集部独自記事です。
All right, let's jump right into our article.
海の日は毎年7月の第3月曜日です。
Okay, so we have umi no hi. So umi is going to be the ocean or the sea. Umi no something of the sea, and hi is day. So ocean day, I believe they call it marine day. Wa, our main topic or framework for this next little bit. Maitoshi. This is going to be every year, as we see in the kanji. Maitoshi. 7月 is going to be the 7th month. July no tells us something of July. Dai-san. So if we had a dai, this tells us what number something is in like a series. So dai-san is not just 3, but the third something. And we have that noun following it, which is getsuyobi. And getsuyobi is a month. So, 第3月曜日 be the third Monday of July. And our des. So, 海の日は des is Marine Day is the third Monday, 第3月曜日 of 7月 July 毎年 every year. So Marine Day is the third Monday of every July.
日本の海に感謝し、海の大切さについて考える日です。
Okay, 日本 or 日本 is going to be Japan no something of Japan. 海 the ocean or sea. に we use に it kind of points us in a direction. And that tells us that this verb is pointed in this direction, which is 感謝し which is 感謝する to be grateful for or to give thanks to. And する, when we put it in this mas stem by itself, it just kind of is like the te form, saying we do this and something else. So the first thing we do is 日本の海に感謝し we give gratitude or be grateful for Japan's ocean, 日本 or 日本の海. And 海の大切さ. So 海 is ocean no something of the ocean. 大切さ. So 大切 means important. For some adjectives we can add sa and that turns it into a noun. So 大切, important, 大切さ would be the importance of something. So the importance of the ocean, 海の大切さについて is kind of like about or regarding. And we have a verb following that, 考える, to think about or consider the importance of the ocean. 海の大切さについて考える. And all of that modifies our noun at the end here, 日, which is day. So going back to Marine Day from our previous sentence, Marine Day is a day in which, and everything up to this he in this sentence is describing the he. So Marine Day is a day where we give gratitude to Japan's ocean. 日本の海に感謝し、海の大切さについて考える日です。And consider the importance of the ocean. Think about the importance of the ocean.
日本が海に囲まれた国であることから作られました。
Okay, 日本が or 日本が. So Japan ga tells us Japan is the subject of some verb, or it's going to be something. And that verb that it is going to be or do is kakomu, or kakomu means to surround something. But then we are putting that in the passive form, kakomareru, which means to be surrounded. So, 囲まれる, and then we have a ni pointing to what it is being surrounded by, which is 海. So, 日本が海に囲まれる. So, 囲まれる would be to be surrounded by ocean. We're putting that in the past tense. 囲まれた has been surrounded by ocean. And 国 is country. So, Japan is a country that is surrounded by ocean. Once again, all of this describes our noun kuni here, tells Japan what, or tells us what kind of country Japan is. And this de aru is a plain form des. So it's just like des. And we use de aru here rather than des because we're in the middle of a sentence and we need to connect to koto. So the thing of Japan being a country that is surrounded by ocean. And when we have koto with kara, this is kind of like due to this thing in front of it. So, 日本が海に囲まれた国であることから。Due to Japan being a country that is surrounded by ocean, and 作られました. This comes from our verb 作る, to create or make something. And then we have that in the passive form, just like we had with 囲まれる here. So instead of the action, or instead of doing the action is being done. So 作る going to 作られる means to be made. And then we put that in the formal mas form in the past tense, which is ました. So 作られました, to be made. Due to, and once again, this thing being made takes us back to our first sentence. So once we establish a topic in Japanese or a subject, a lot of times we can keep running with that same subject without mentioning it again and again. So Marine Day was made, 作られました, due to, this koto kara tells us, due to Japan being a country that is surrounded by ocean. So because it's an island nation, they celebrate Marine Day, or 海の日.
海の恵みに感謝し、日本の発展を願う祝日です。
Okay, so 海, the ocean, no, something of the ocean, 恵み. So 恵み is like blessings, or basically really good things that just come out of nature or from God or from, normally not human. But so here, 海の恵み would be the wonderful things that come from the ocean, the blessings of the ocean, right? And then ni, we use ni because we're using 感謝する again, to be grateful for. Once again, we put it in the stem as a kind of formal te form to say we do this and something else. So we're continuing our sentence. So be grateful for the blessings of the ocean and Nippon or Nihon, Japan, no something of Japan, hatten, the development. So Japan getting stronger, becoming bigger. Hatten o, we are going to do something to this development of Japan, and that is going to be negau, which is to hope for or to wish for something. So to hope for the development of Japan. And then finally we have shukujitsu, which is a public holiday, and des. So this des tells us that something is a holiday. And once again, we do not have our subject here, so it actually goes all the way back to the start of the article to umi no hi. So the Marine Day is a holiday in which, once again, this is all modifying shukujitsu to tell us what kind of holiday this is. And the kind of holiday it is a holiday where we give gratitude for the blessings of the ocean, umi no megumi ni kansha shi, and hope for the development or the progress of Japan. Nippon no hatten o negau shukujitsu desu.
海の日は、海の記念日が元になっています。
Okay, so umi no hi, we've broken that down several times. Marine Day, Ocean Day wa our main topic or framework here. Umi no kinenbi. So umi is going to be ocean, no something of the ocean. Kinenbi. So kinenbi is a commemorative day or a memorial day. So you can see this is a quote. This is something that used to exist, which is Sea Memorial Day or something along those lines. Day commemorating the ocean. Ga, and that day commemorating the ocean is going to do something. And this is moto, which is like an origin. And moto ni naru is like to be the origin of something. And then we have that in the teiru form because that is a state that it is in. So, moto ni natte imasu is currently based on something. So, umi no hi, the Marine Day, is based on moto ni natte imasu. The umi no kinenbi, the Marine or Ocean or Sea Memorial Day or Commemorative Day, which was a previous holiday that Japan used to have, but they no longer do.
明治天皇が東北に行って船で横浜港まで無事に帰ってきた日を記念して7月20日が海の記念日に決まりました。
Okay, so we've got a long sentence here with several things going on, but we'll break them down one by one. So we have Meiji Tenno. So Meiji is going to be Meiji, like the Meiji era. But not only the Meiji era, we have Meiji Tenno, which is Tenno is a title for the emperor. So Meiji Tenno would be the Meiji emperor. Ga, so he's going to do something here. Tohoku is a region in Japan in the northeast. Tohoku. Ni, to Tohoku. Itte. So this is iku, to go somewhere, putting it in the te form because we're going to do this and something else. So the Meiji emperor went to Tohoku and fune de. So fune is a ship or a boat. De, this is like by means of, using a boat or by boat. And then Yokohama ko. Yokohama is Yokohama and ko is the port, like the seaport. Yokohama ko, the Yokohama seaport. Made is to, up to a certain point. So Yokohama ko made, up to the Yokohama port. And then buji ni is safely. Kaette kita. So kaette kita is kaeru, which is to go home or to return. And we use te kuru because he came home to this place. Kuru is to come, so he returned and came to this place. And then the past tense of kuru is kita. Kaette kita So returned and came back to the Yokohama port. And all of this is modifying 日 which is day. So 明治天皇が東北に行って船で横浜港まで無事に帰ってきた日。The day that the Meiji Emperor went to the Tohoku region and safely returned to the Yokohama port via ship or boat. And that day we are going to do something to it because it is marked with our O particle as our object. And the verb we are going to do to that day is 記念し or 記念する, which is to commemorate. Then we have する in the te form. So 記念して commemorating the day that Meiji Emperor did that. 7月20日. So once again, July 20th. With the 20th, we have that special reading of 20th day of the month, 20日 instead of 20日. が this 20th of July is going to do something or be something. It tells us this is our subject of some verb or something. And so then we look at 海の記念日. So the commemorative day of the ocean or Ocean Memorial Day or whatever we want to call that. に決まりました. So we use the particle に with the verb 決まる for something to be determined. And we have that in the past mas form here. So it's something that happened. And 決まる is to be determined or decided. So the 20th of July was determined as the Ocean Commemorative Day in commemoration of the day that Meiji Emperor went to Tohoku and safely returned to the Yokohama port by ship or by boat. Right?
7月に祝日がなかったことも理由だと言います。
Okay, 7月 is going to be July once again. 7月に in July. 祝日 a public holiday. が this public holiday is going to do something, and that verb we have here is ない in the past tense. ない means to not exist. So なかった there was not a public holiday in July. 7月に祝日がなかったことも So こと is the thing or the fact. So the fact that there was no public holiday in July. Mo is there's also the fact that there was no public holiday in July. Ryu is reason, and ryu da is the reason. To iimasu. So when we have a to here with imasu, imasu comes from our verb you to say something. And this to kind of puts what comes before it as a quote. And this is the thing that is said or has been said, right? So 7月に祝日がなかったことも理由だと言います. So this だと言います tells us this is something that is said. And what is said? It is also said that the fact that there was no public holiday in July is the reason for having 海の日 or Ocean Day, right?
海は魚や貝などの食べ物を私たちに届けてくれます。
Okay, so 海は the ocean は our main topic or framework here. 魚や貝など. So 魚 is fish, 貝 is shellfish. Ya and nado both work together here to tell us we're listing two things, but we're also including some unknowns here. Wow, I'm really good at drawing with a mouse, aren't I? So we have 1, 2, sakana, kai, but we're also talking about other things that go on here. But sakana ya kai nado no tabemono. So we use this no and tabemono. So tabemono is food. And this ya and nado also connect to tabemono with this no to say food, such as fish, shellfish, and the like. O, there's going to be a verb that does something to this food, tabemono o. And then 私たちに So 私たち Watashi is I. 私たち makes that plural, so that goes to we. And then に there's something directed towards us. And then 届ける is to deliver something or provide something in this case. And we use 届ける with てくれる, the te form of the verb followed by くれる when we're grateful for when someone does something for us. So here, 届けてくれます delivers or provides us with something and we're grateful for it. So the ocean is very kind in that it provides us with food such as fish, shellfish, and the like.
また、船で人や物を運ぶことにも役立っています。
また also 船で by means of boat or ships 人や物 so once again we have a ya here between two nouns 人 being person or people 物 being things so per people and things or there's going to be a verb that does something to the people and things, and that verb is 運ぶ, to carry or transport. So transporting people and things via ship or boat. こと, and the thing of that, we can't use some of these later verbs unless we use this koto here to turn it into a noun. That's all that this koto is being used for here. And koto ni mo, we use ni and mo here because we are using yakudatsu, which is to be of benefit or to be of help, to be of use. And that takes a ni, but we're adding a mo because we're also saying it also helps by, right, letting us transport things such as people and objects or goods via boat. And then because it is currently helping us in addition to the past still going on, 役立っています. So the teiru form in the mas form for politeness. We use the teiru for that current ongoing state that's still going.
夏になると海水浴やマリンスポーツを楽しむ人もたくさんいます。
Okay, 夏 is going to be summer. 夏になる. We use the particle ni with the verb naru to say becoming summer. And then this to is once this thing that happens, or once this thing before it happens. So, 夏になると, once it becomes summer, 海水浴. So, 海水浴, if you look at the kanji here, you'll understand it. We have ocean, water, and bathing. 海水浴 is swimming in the ocean. 海水浴や, once again we have a ya between two nouns, and the two nouns are 海水浴 and マリンスポーツ, marine sports, wakeboarding, surfing, all that stuff, marine sports. And o, there's going to be a verb that does something to the swimming and marine sports, and that verb is going to be 楽しむ, enjoy. So enjoying swimming and marine sports. And all of that is going to modify our noun here, hito. So people that enjoy swimming and marine sports. Mo, also people that do that. たくさん, a lot. And imasu, coming from our verb iru, to exist, in the mas form for formality. So, 海水浴やマリンスポーツを楽しむ人もたくさんいます。There are lots of people, and I guess we've also forgot to add the 夏になると. Once it becomes summer, there are also lots of people who enjoy swimming and marine sports. So in addition to all this other stuff that the ocean does for us, it also, well, for those people that like it, it provides a place for swimming and playing marine sports.
海は私たちに楽しい時間も与えてくれます。
Okay, so 海は the ocean, and then wa, our main topic or framework here. 私たち us, に to us. 楽しい is fun, and we put that in front of 時間. to modify it. So 楽しい時間。時間 is time. 楽しい is fun. A fun time. 楽しい時間も also a fun time. And 与える is to give or to provide as well. Then we use てくれる because this is something being done for us that we are grateful for. So 私たちに楽しい時間も与えてくれます。The ocean also provides us with a fun time. Or as a source of enjoyment, right?
海の日は、海の大切さや海の恵みに感謝する良い機会です。
Okay, 海の日は once again, Ocean Day or Marine Day is 海の大切さ。So we've seen all this before. 海の大切さ, the ocean's importance. Ya, again, we have two nouns with a ya in between them. So we're listing two things, but we're also including other things, this, and so on and so forth. The second noun we have is 海の恵み, which is the blessings from the ocean, which we talked about. Mostly food products or the things that it provides for us, right? So 海の大切さや海の恵み, the importance of the ocean and the blessings of the ocean に感謝する. To give gratitude to, that's why we use the particle に because we're giving gratitude for or to those things. And all of that is modifying 良い機会です. So 良い is a more formal version of いい. Like いいですね or いいよ, which means good. So is a good, and 機会 is opportunity or chance. So a good chance to do all of this stuff. And this des is our is, which connects back to our main topic of 海の日. So the 海の日, the ocean day or marine day, is a good opportunity to give gratitude for the importance of the ocean and the blessings that come from the ocean.
海を大切にする気持ちを持ちながら自然について考えてみてください。これは
Okay, 海を大切にする. So 海, ocean, を object particle that tells us it's going to do something. There's a verb that's going to do something to the ocean. And that verb is 大切にする. So 大切 is important. When we use にする with a na adjective like 大切, that means we make something into that adjective. So in this case, 大切にする is to make something important or to value or to treasure, right? So 海を大切にする to treasure or value the ocean. And 気持ち is a feeling. And this is all being modified by 海を大切にする. So 気持ち、海を大切する気持ち, the feeling of valuing the ocean. Or we're going to do something to that feeling, and that verb is 持つ, to hold or to have. And then we are using 持つ with ながら, which is our grammar point of the day. So 持ちながら, while we are doing this one thing, there's going to be something after that also happens. So 海を大切にする気持ちを持ちながら, while having or holding a feeling of valuing the ocean, we are also going to 自然について. So 自然 is going to be nature, and 自然について regarding nature. We have our verb 考える, which is to consider or to think about. Particularly with について, that means about. So について考える, to think about blank. And then we have that in the て form followed by 見る, which is to give something a shot and see how it goes. Give it a try, see how it goes. So 考えてみる, to consider thinking about doing this. And in this case, it's going to be ocean, or sorry, 自然, nature. And then that 見る, we're also putting in the て form followed by ください. which is how we get our please as a request. So this entire sentence is a please request here. So please consider, or give considering this a shot, see how it goes. Think about nature while holding that feeling of valuing the ocean. Or consider how important the ocean is to you and think about nature is pretty much what they want you to do on Umi no Hi. So hopefully those of you who are in Japan, well, your Umi no Hi is pretty much over now, but maybe those of you who aren't in Japan can still enjoy it if you're by the ocean. I am not, so I will be thinking about the ocean without touching it, but I'll try to touch some grass anyway, since nature is also something we should be valuing. So alright, that is it for our article today. Thank you so much. 本当にありがとうございました. If you have not, please like and subscribe. Always really helps out with the algorithm and YouTube, and it also gives me more motivation to make more of these. I'm going to see if I can get one done every day this week to get more out for you guys, to get you into Japanese and using it as much as possible. So once again, ありがとうございました. I will see you next time. またね.